Yeah, so I've been, I started doing the gemstones. I remember it was what, 2-2 or 222. I know it was like 222 one of the days that I got the
Yeah, the
gemstones. So
22nd.
it's been, a couple months. The first 2 weeks, within the first 2 weeks, I definitely started seeing a difference, but now it's even more so. The main issues for me are anxiety, depression, and PMS. So I feel like at this point, the PMS is non existent. Anxiety, just like normal anxiety here and there, but barely. And if I do feel a tiny bit of anxiety ever, it's quickly gone because I'm able to redirect and, I feel much better at managing any kind of normal day to day anxiety.
Oh,
I feel more balanced. The depression is pretty much non existent. I stopped my Wellbutrin last week so far. It's been great. No issues. I'm still on a very low, like it's the lowest dose of Zoloft. So my plan is to maybe in another week or so come off that. I just want to get my body adjusted to being off the Wellbutrin first, but I'm hopeful that coming off that, I'll feel exactly the same, if not better.
awesome.
Uh, my indigestion. So I had bad indigestion prior to the gemstones, and it is pretty much gone. And it would get way worse when I was PMSing. And I mean, occasionally I'll, burp here and there, that kind of thing, and get gassy, but it's not anything like it was before. It was like painful and no medication. I don't take anything for indigestion and just gone. Um, my dreams have been way more intense and meaningful. When I first started the gemstones, um, I was for probably like 2 weeks straight, if not a month straight, almost every night having a dream about someone I know that is deceased. So I felt like that was very meaningful. Hold on a sec, Ethan. Sorry, that's my son. um, Now, not as many of those dreams, but still very intense. And oftentimes, I wouldn't even remember my dreams, but every single night, I remember my dreams. Every night.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, because sometimes I'll wake up and say, all right, stop. Okay, stop. Sorry. Oh, all right. Well, then go get a napkin. Okay. Um, what else can I say? No, Kaden, I'm on the phone. I'm being recorded right now, so I'm gonna continue this. Okay. I'll go in the backyard in a minute. Sorry, they were occupied for an hour, but now they're. Sorry about that.
It's cool. It's
See the
cool. You got little
hecticness of
kids. It's fun.
3 kids. This is.
But see, this is wonderful because your kids are still the same, and yet
Mhm.
you're more able. You feel more centered
Yeah,
with your same situations. You feel more calm and less
exactly.
anxiety, even in
And I have a
interactions
special
with your
needs
kids.
child,
And
and
so,
not that that makes me special or anything like that. It's just, sometimes that makes life a little more difficult, but and as you can hear, my kids fight. But I have gotten so much better at managing all of that and not letting stuff bother me as much because, it's just not worth it. And I just, I feel more centered and balanced. So that helps a lot.
and if I can throw out there, since like most people, in between, the 2 week, approximately 2 week check-in, and now it's, more like 2 months later, we did have some, chatting back and forth.
Yeah.
And you did mention things to me, like you started noticing, as you're calmer and more balanced and more centered, that you're starting to notice it affect your children. And slowly, gently, but you're starting to
Yes.
notice them also being, a little bit more calm, a little bit more, such and such. And so how the effect, as you being the fulcrum, as the mother, And
Hmm.
as you are finding more center and healing and strength within, and how that then is affecting, all those around you in really wonderful ways.
Exactly, because I feel that if I'm less reactive, which I am, they're less reactive and more calm. They're children, so they're gonna fight. There's normal sibling rivalry,
Of
whatever you
course.
say, but it's much easier for me to manage as a mom, I feel.
We've talked so much about this, not so much, but we've mentioned this many a times that you really set the tone, not so much in what you tell your kids to do, but who you be in your energy, how you
Hmm.
are with your mood, and as you are really your mood, your attitude is changing from the inside out, becoming
Hmm.
more balanced, more whole, more centered, more
Hmm.
stable. It's automatically going to just benefit those that you interact with, and especially
Exactly.
people really close like your family, which is awesome.
Exactly. Hold on a sec, bud. Yes. I want you to show up the pool. It's not warm enough for the pool. It's only like 65 degrees here. I don't know. Oh.
But so if I may also throw out one more thing, because within our chatting, you already mentioned that you noticed improvement in your cycle, your period.
Yes.
But
Sorry.
what you mentioned also, a month or so ago, when you were noticing it more, the effects, the benefits, you were saying how like before wearing gemstones, not only did you get some crampiness, a little bit, not really terrible, but you got some
I
PMS,
was
some
super
moodiness, some
moody.
things.
Yeah.
But you were saying to me that um, not only is it less painful, less crampy, and less moody, less PMSy. But you were saying you were feeling kind of like a flush of energy, kind of like,
Oh my
like
gosh, yes.
nesting
So
where you
like
like
it was
went around
almost,
it.
I forgot about that. So like it's almost like when you're nesting when you're pregnant. So like rather than making getting that having that moodiness bring me down, it was like I took that energy instead of it being moodiness and turned it into like a nesting, and I was like more productive and getting things done. I cleaned out my whole closet, which I hadn't done in like 5 years, like it just. And then I feel like my energy kind of um brushed off into my daughter's energy, sort of like she was like, you know what, I think I'm good. Like a couple days later, I think I'm gonna clean too. And she cleaned out 2 closets that like not even her own, just. And I was like, okay, sure. So I know I stumbled a little bit on my words there, but that's another thing is I for years was very not confident at all, very indecisive. I feel more decisive. I feel better with my words. I am more assertive, just more confident in general. And I think, just less fearful because there was a lot of fear around that. Like, well, oh, what are they going to, think when I say this or that kind of thing. And now it's just, I don't care what they think. I care about me. Like,
And
not
just to
that I'm like,
clarify, yeah, I was just gonna say what you were gonna say, and not that you're
yeah, not that
nasty or
I'm
bitchy. That's what I was
exactly.
just gonna say. You're authentically
Not that I'm
speaking from your
conceited or
heart.
anything and
You're,
only thinking of myself. It's,
yeah, there's no one's getting hurt by you
oh,
expressing
that
your
wasn't
feelings.
nice. Sorry.
Well, life goes on.
Yes. So,
But so
what
yeah, you were when you were telling me about feeling more authentic and more assertive in your communication, both with your kid's doctor, because your disabled son's doctors and
mhm.
such, and asking questions and being more present, more clear, more assertive. And you also mentioned me something that I really want you to mention here, the comments that your husband made to you. I love them. Two
Oh,
different ones.
I forget the one, but the one was this week. we were having a discussion about something, and he said, and I said, "Well, why didn't you tell me that before?" And this was something that happened like a month ago, and he said, "Because you wouldn't have been receptive to that a month, 2 months ago, whatever." And he said, "Now you're just a different person." And I was like, "Oh, well, I actually appreciate that because he meant it in a good way."
Yeah,
So,
and that a beautiful, beautiful little snippet right there is
so
what you
obviously
tell me.
he's known too that
Yeah,
I'm
and you told
more
me 2 weeks
calm, more
ago.
centered.
Yeah, he's teasing you, saying, "Oh yeah, you're a little Miss Zened out over there, like
Yeah.
just not letting anything, bother
And
you
he
anymore."
does make those comments sometimes like, "Oh, you're zenned out and stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And I'm loving it.
Yeah. So that I love that. I love that. So yeah, we were talking about, all the things that you've been noticing,
Hold
the
on a sec, bud. Oh, Ethan, I'm sorry to hear that. Tell her that you didn't like that, okay? Sorry. This is
um
life.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we were just talking about, what you've been experiencing, what you feel, what you've noticed, in terms of, so you went through like the dreaming, from the
Mhm.
beginning, the increase in energy level, and like from the first clip, we said, that there was some things you'd see quicker, like the improvement in energy level and just feeling less fatigue and lethargy during the day.
Yep.
But then
Mhm.
there was more things to unfold. It's like you can't do it all in one day. So it's like as time goes on, more and more and more unfolds. And so it's like we said, the joy, the joyfulness, meaning the more centeredness, the low anxiety, the anxiety might take a little bit, more than just a week or two to melt away. It might take a month or
Yeah.
two. Now, as it's, becoming a month or two, are we not seeing that real clear?
Yeah, and like the
The
depression, it was
anxiety
like
and
the
depression
fatigue
is
was
just,
horrible because of the depression. It was just like I was just tired all the time. And I honestly felt that I needed my medication to feel energized and to feel awake and to get by in the day. But obviously that wasn't true because I've felt more energized the last 2 months than I have in years. So, that says a lot.
it's funny because I just said the same thing to someone else, that when our batteries are full with happy feel, when we
Hmm.
refuel our tanks with happy, you have the energy you need for life. And so it's like
Exactly.
when a person's depressed, you don't want to get out of bed, your fuel's empty. When you're, happy, when you feel good, you want to engage, you want to. So that's awesome. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
So we're going through all, your bullet points of all the different benefits, all the things you're noticing that are improving or shifting or feeling better or healing, your digestion, your indigestion of your
Hmm.
digestion, which
Hmm.
also then goes back to, and again, like, the digestion is very, very much related to people's feelings. And so oftentimes we see that when people struggle with feelings, whether it's, anxiety, depression, fear, whatever it may be, there's oftentimes, correlations to trouble in the digestion, whether it's an ulcer or, or diarrhea or constipation, any number of, there's always a relationship between, the feelings being blocked up and the
Hmm.
food flowing through being blocked up.